Hello, everybody.
Are you posting? Are you going to post your
I'm
feed or
I'm doing it right now.
video?
Well, I posted it before. I posted it on the I posted it in the Google chat. I'll
Oh,
post it.
the event thing.
Yeah. Well, the and I'll post it again here in the chat room. Oh, now my
It says 404 not found when I click on that.
what?
Seriously.
Seriously?
What you posted in there? Yep, 404 not.
Oh, good grief! Did it change on me? Links.
You. I think you have to go live before something shows. Well,
It was live.
oh, we are live. Oh, I didn't know we were live.
That's the
Are we?
link for the YouTube. Yeah, sure enough, it says 404 not found. Well, good grief. Well, that's weird. What happens if I...
Let me.
Well, it's okay. Here, we'll just do this then. This is the Google Plus. That's the Google Plus page. So we'll just do that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
All right. Okay, we'll call that good. All right. Adjust my camera. Gotta remember what I'm doing now.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. All right. Pull up my notes. Hey, everybody, welcome to Geeksters episode 172. No, not Geeksters episode 1, the Ungeekster Bulls, as Tim has tried to call it. But this is actually 172. I know it's been a while. It's been a month, actually, a month and 19 days. I think our last one was October 1st. I have been so busy. That has been the main reason. Business is booming. Business is going really, really well. But there's some changes coming, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about those. But this is Geeksters. This is a show where we talk about computer stuff, kind of the life of a tech. What do we do? How does it go? Gosh, man, everything. We talk about anything and everything, and I'm glad to be back with you guys. It's pretty much what it's been like. And thanks to Swift 110 in the chat room. It's nice to have him back in the chat as well. And my co-hosts, Mitch and Tim. I know they don't like to be called out by name, or at least pointed on. So I'm going to say, Tim, how's it going?
It's going fine. I'm glad to be here during our reunion show.
This is our reunion show.
Yeah, I think we have. It's like a clip show. We have like the best of, and just basically filler. So sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, it's good. Well, we didn't release a clip show. So is this gonna be the clip show?
This is it. I'm introducing it. I'm just kind of like So folks, this is a good time to just turn it off and not listen anymore. Unless that sounds appealing. Yeah,
well, don't
Mitch, how you doing, bud?
Yeah. There it is. The man of many things. Hey, but before we get going too far into this, I know there was so many different things that had come up while we were gone. One of them was the Podnuts site relaunch. It's been kind of old news now, but I want to definitely give a shout out to, I believe, Matthew Rodell from Your Friendly Neighborhood Computer Guy. He jumped in there. He helped out a lot, and I want to give just a huge hearty high five to him for just helping us out with that, getting that up and running. Because if you have not checked out the Podnuts site in the last month and a half, podnuts.com, and go check out that site.
It's smooth.
It is. It looks really good. It's So guys, they had to rebuild that from scratch. There was not a way to go from one content management solution to another. They had to just start from scratch, and they put a lot of work into that. And I'm proud to be a part of the Podnuts community. Proud to have that webpage. Could just get better and better and better. So, hey, there's Mrs. Heyman. That's all listening. Sudo, make me a sandwich.
Thank you.
Man, I'm hungry too.
I know. Would you? Okay, everybody, live to Mitch on the street for what's in the bag.
Nothing healthy, but I'm going to eat it anyway. So.
Well, what is it?
A burger. A burger.
Cheese?
Yes.
Bacon?
No.
Send it back.
That's all right.
I mean, seriously, what's the point?
I eat that in the morning.
Oh, well, what else is on it? Can we look at the burger? No, it's a McDonald's burger.
Hmm.
It's not really a burger. You want to see my nuts?
Oh, I'm really confused. Oh, I
No,
see.
I love them. I eat those too.
Sorry. Lovely nuts.
Love
Too
the
much
nuts.
of those are not really good either.
No, I know. So okay, so now that we've digressed severely, it's nice to be back. So what have you guys been up to? That I haven't seen you. It's not like we've just hung out and forgot to hit record. We actually have not had a show in a month and a half.
I worked on a laptop. It was, I don't know, it had Windows 8 on there, and what did I do? It was just like trying to repair itself, and it just kept on doing that loop thing, whatever, and wasn't getting anywhere. So I got a Windows. I had one of my CDs, one of Windows 8 CDs, and I put it in. I went in the command prompt just for the heck of it because I used to do it like on Windows XP a lot. Um, fix this / MBR whatever, and the MBR rebuild it, and it worked.
Wow.
Yeah, it worked because it was some mild infections on it, nothing too bad. So spent a few hours on that, and that's about the only thing I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a Windows 8 computer come in and just this last week, and they just said it wasn't booting and it was slow. They said memory system resources gives it that error. So it came into me and it wouldn't boot. It's same thing, just sat in a loop. I was able to actually let it try to recover. It failed, and then I went to the advanced options and was able to roll it back, and then got it back, ran patches, updates, cleaned it up. No infection, nothing. It just I don't know. It just hiccuped somewhere along the line. So that was nice. They had it back the next day, but it was one of those things where I was thinking, oh, great, I'm gonna have to reload or wipe. And it was an HP all-in-one, and
Oh, well.
I've worked on this computer before, and it's never. I don't know. There's just something about it that just doesn't. I don't know. Just
If you want a really nice all-in-one, get the WoW machine.
oh, the wow. That's been a while since we've seen that. Is that still around?
Well, I don't know. It's marketed to the elderly, so yeah, I mean, they'll be around for 20 years, sitting next to the Davenport and covered with an all-in-one cover, an all-in-one cozy.
I don't know if it's around anymore.
I don't even know. I have no idea.
What was it called? The WoW.
It was the WoW machine, wasn't it? WoW
Yeah,
machine.
but WoW comes up with World of Warcraft, so.
It was not that.
I know.
I think it was the WoW machine. Not that it really matters.
Never heard of it.
No.
You've heard of it. We talked about it. It's been
Okay.
it's been a callback many times here, Mitch.
But
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't think we usually wake you up for that bit.
when you're my age, you don't remember a lot of things.
Well, see, it's for. Oh, there it is. The WoW computer. It's mywowcomputer.com.
Jeez,
That was gonna
seems
drive
like
me
that would
nuts.
be your first guess.
Well, I just put in WoW machine.
My WoW computer.
It says
That's so
it
funny.
says exclusively from First Street for boomers and beyond. Anyways, but this is the computer that runs Ubuntu, right? Or some.
Yeah, I don't know, some version of Linux. It's the computer equivalent of the home phone with like giant buttons that you just hit with your fist. It's about like that. I'm kind of sorry I brought it up.
It's on sale. It used to be $12.99. It's now $10.99.
Well, that's because Linux is cheaper now.
That's the Linux. The Linux has actually fallen in prices.
Yes.
It's gone from free to
Like half a free.
half a free. I know
Yeah.
exactly. You can, instead of getting one free CD, you can get two.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. That's the free market for you.
I put VirtualBox on my Windows 10, and it's working well actually. Because I had trouble with VirtualBox when I had 8.1 on there for some reason. It might have been an older version, but it wouldn't run right. But it is now.
Good now.
What are you
What do
running
do with
inside?
VirtualBox?
Linux Lite. I have Ubuntu, but I haven't put it on, set it up yet.
So you're running Windows with Linux in a virtual machine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just to stay current, or what's to what end, Mitch? Why are you doing that?
I always
You just tinker with it.
because sometimes I like to browse and be safe sometimes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I just,
there you go. All right, I'll buy that. I just didn't know what you were getting at.
not that there's any place that I would go would not be safe. You know, but it's always good to be safe. And I like messing around with Linux, and
Okay.
I even thought about putting Arch on again, but not in a virtual box. The real deal, but
The real
the real deal, yeah.
deal.
But maybe down the road.
This Arch Linux and Mitch, it's like this ongoing chess game of his life.
But the thing is, when you stay away from it, you stay away from the command line. You're not going to remember anything. I mean,
Well, you barely have to use the command line anymore.
no, but it's still, to me, it's to your advantage to be a
That's
power
true.
user. Like extracting zip. What do they? See, I don't remember what do we call the zip files?
Tar files.
Tar file. I don't even remember how to do any of that. I used to know how to do all that.
You
I mean,
right click on it and say extract.
Well, I mean, no, I mean from the command line.
I mean, it's the same thing you would do in
Left click or right
Windows.
click?
Yeah,
No, right click.
yeah. I mean, you
okay,
don't.
then I would have screwed up then.
Well, why would you left click on it? That's just never mind. I'm a month and a half away, and I still fall for his traps.
I was surprised. I set up
His traps of ignorance.
that Windows 10 machine. It's on a Dell.
It's
It's
the
on a Dell.
TOI.
It's on a Dell i5, right?
Yeah.
And I set that Linux light up with just like 64-bit video, and it's really fast because I have on my older Dell i5, I have VirtualBox on there, and I have the same spec, same thing Linux Lite, and it doesn't work nowhere near as good as it does on that newer i5 with the same specs.
So Linux, I'm looking at Linux Lite. It's actually linuxliteos.com.
Mhm.
Is it? So it says it must be running on Ubuntu.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Comes with Office tools, but what is it? What's the desktop? It must be okay. So it looks like it's probably. Oh, good grief! Because I'm just looking at the icons. It looks like it's LXDE.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh.
I don't have no problem. And what's the Unity one?
That's the
Everybody-
Ubuntu Unity.
I mean, people knocked that. I thought it was a little different, but I didn't hate it.
No, there's a Linux version that I like, and I can't remember what it's called for just a light, easy version. And
Well,
I don't know
Linux
what it
Lite is.
well, yeah, but it was one that
Obviously.
was a little more. Maybe it was this one. Oh well. Yeah, it only needs. Oh wait, no, that's the server that it's on. No, it doesn't need very much. Sweet, Linux Lite. So I have been. So I had my little thumb drive,
Yeah.
thumbstick. What's that called? From Intel, the CompuStick.
Oh, the Windows stick, the
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
The CompuStick. So I had Windows 8 on this one, 8.1 on the little computer above me, and I been more and more people that I know have been using Windows 10. The more I've been using Windows 10, the more I kind of like it. I really, I find it's definitely faster. It's more intuitive for me. So my daughter had my original Linux, not my original, but my original Dell Inspiron laptop, and she used it just fine. It had Windows 7, then we put, but then it was starting to get slow. We threw Windows 10 on it, and she says it runs brand new. So, and that only has, I think that has 4 gigs of RAM in it.
That's
maybe.
what my recording Toshiba laptop. It's i3, 4 gigs, and I just did the upgrade with Windows 10, and it's 5 times faster than it was before.
Yeah. So I'm impressed with it. I found that it's actually working pretty good. I'm not I use Windows every day on one aspect or another, not necessarily on, like I said, I'm still running Ubuntu. It's still the same Ubuntu that I've been running for a long time, and but just Windows 10 is working out really, really well. Like I said, I find that getting rid of the two interfaces into one It feels like things are where they should be. I still have to search a little bit. I'm getting used to you just click on the search button and type, updates or something like that. So I still haven't found where everything is hidden. But overall, I feel like I can use it. It's functional. It brings back it has the newness of a new operating system and kind of where Windows is trying to go, but yet it still has the old. You can still click on the start button and kind of find stuff still. So I think they've done a good job with it. I'm hoping that it'll just get better, but it's not the. I definitely embrace this a lot easier and a lot quicker than I did Windows 8.
But it still has the toggle function. I mean,
it does, but it's not as bad. I mean, you just click on the little.
I assume they still have a separate Skype app for it.
Probably. I haven't installed Skype.
I messed with it once and then I couldn't get it to work right.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Version.
Now, I have not done, being that today is the 20th, I have not done the big patch that came out. So we'll see.
It took maybe an hour altogether.
Yeah.
It took a little bit. Yeah.
Didn't
do it on the laptop yet though.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of patches, it's this last set of patches that came out. Anybody?
13, wasn't it? 13.
13 patches. Anybody have any issues with that one?
No.
I had.
Not yet,
no.
Not
I
yet.
had Outlook issues after Outlook issues after Outlook issues. It was 2010 and 2013 and 2016.
There's a solution for that. Don't use Outlook.
It's Outlook related.
Well,
that's where I'm going to start.
That's right. Yeah. So what I found is that first off, then Liam jumped in and said, "Hey, it's this patch, and all you have to do is uninstall it." But before then, I found that if you hold down Control and double click on an icon in an Office, say an Office icon, you can start that program in safe mode. We started Outlook in safe mode. You have to put in your password because all these clients are on hosted Exchange. Put in your password. It works just fine. And then eventually it just kind of fixed itself, and everything went back to normal, and everything was good. But it did take a while before Microsoft pushed out another patch and fixed it. So I did have issues with that, and it has been since resolved. But last week was, it wasn't huge though. Out of all of my clients who could have called me, I think I only had about 4 or 5 people who actually had issues. So.
Oh, that's good.
But on my side, what would happen is you would open up Outlook and it would instantly crash. It would just close.
That's a problem.
Yeah, yeah. And some clients, some people I just had go to the webmail because webmail was up and running. But so that was one of the things that I had. One of the big things that happened while we were gone, and this was actually a couple weeks ago. We had set a night up. We were going to record Geeksters again, right? We were coming back, and that whole day, everything was going really smooth. The night looked open. We were going to go.
That was when we had the big fight, wasn't it? And we were like,
I think it was the big fight.
You put your mic down. You're like, I'm not doing this show. And Mitch, I consoled Mitch for hours. And was that a different time?
Well, no, that was the time. I did want to apologize for the words that I said about everybody's, mom. I didn't really mean it. It was just, our little spat. So I hope you guys can forgive me for that. But so I get back to my office.
I'll forgive. We're used to that. We're used to that kind of prima donna stuff out of you anyway.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's all good.
There's some things that just haven't changed. So I get back in my office, and within minutes, I have like 6 calls. And a lot of them are little fires here, little fires there, and I'm trying to get everything done. But the one is a gentleman who had called. This is one of my newest clients, called me up, and he said, so I changed the password on the server, and I logged in, and it would work, and I logged out, and then I logged back in, and it worked, and then I logged out, and I logged back in to do something else, and it says password's not good anymore. I said, well, okay, so I logged in as me because I have my own account, and I logged in, and I was able to get in, and I went to go open up Active Directory, and it was telling me there's an error. And I go to change his password, and it tells me there's an error. Like it says it can't connect to Active Directory.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, this is not good. And this is a 2008 small business server, I messed with it for about an hour trying to figure it out. I call a good friend of mine, and we get talking about it, and come to find out it's probably host. It's been, it's a couple years old. It's out of warranty, so we have a couple things we can do, and just prior to all of this happening, they were using through their old tech company that they were using. They used a company called can't remember. Anyways, it was creating backups. It was basically a disaster recovery program, and I can't remember the name of it. But so called a couple friends of mine. We've talked to some people here in Portland. I've talked to them. They've used gosh, my brain. They've used a couple programs. One is Macrium Reflect. That one, and had some. I've seen that one in progress. I've seen it work. So that was cool. But this other one that we were using is called Storage Craft, or it's called Storage Protect, or sorry, it's called Shadow Protect. I apologize, and well, okay. The company is.
I'm sorry.
I am not doing so well tonight.
No, it's all right. No, it's really late on a Friday last year. It's okay, but I was just amused that the thing you started out with was not at all what it actually ended up being.
Well, the company's called Storage Craft.
But it's okay. I mean, I'm kind of there with you, so no problem.
Right. So the company's called Storage Craft, and the product is called Shadow Protect.
There we go.
There's where it is, and they have a 2008 standard edition or server, and they have a smaller version, a cheaper version actually for small business, and so we have this running, and it's going to their NAS, and it's backing up everything. So when we bought 3 years worth of support, or through licensing, and then we bought a year's worth of support up front. So I talked to their tech. I said, this is the problem I'm running into. He says, well, you could call Microsoft. So I called StorageCraft, and he says, well, you could call Microsoft. They could see if they can fix it for you. He says, I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't do, but, I said, would I, what about maybe just rolling it back? Let's just go back to the, an image. And how this is set up is every Sunday it gets a full, complete image, and then it does incrementals after that. And it runs twice a day, so we get a 6 a.m. and a 6 p.m. image. This company has roaming profiles and everything, the QuickBooks and all this financial data is on the one server. So that's why I want to make sure we get as many backups as we possibly can, without overfilling and taking down the network. So I call up, I get on site, and it's about 8 o'clock. I get on site. I'm talking to the gentleman, my contact there. He's there with me. We call up StorageCraft, and they walk us through restoring the server right from the NAS. You got to mount it, you boot up from their little CD, and it's a Linux-based CD, so you got to mount the NAS, and it's all GUI interfaced. And you know what? It worked. It brought back the server right back to where it was, right from the incrementals, because you point to the latest incremental you wanted, which was, we had it at 6:30 that morning, and then it bases it. You don't have to do like the older backups where you'd have to back up the full, restore the full, sure, and then restore each incremental after that in a row. This one, you just point to the incremental. It knows where everything else is based on that, and it just does it itself.
Oh, nice! Oh, that's fantastic.
And it worked.
Man.
It was one of those things when we rebooted the server and we typed in the original password and it logged in and everything worked, came back up online, the wireless worked, the DHCP pool worked. It was one of those things where it's like, okay. And I was all tingly with excitement when I left because, well, you know what I mean? When you like accomplish something and you kind of have that sense of just that huge big weight off your shoulders, you're kind of all energized, and it's 10 o'clock, almost 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I could go for some coffee, or, just all excited.
Yeah. I'm like king of the world. I'm ready to call my ex-wife and tell her how it really is.
Well, except I didn't have an ex-wife. But yes, if you had an ex-wife, that's what you would do.
Well, I don't either, but...
But, okay.
We've been away that long?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what? We got some real good gossip going on, man.
So, it worked.
But the minute I get one... The minute I get myself
her
an ex-wife, and I have myself just enough success that I'm a little tingly, I'm calling her up. I'm telling her how it is.
This is how it is. So, yeah, it's not the cheapest program out there. I'll admit that right now. It probably costs them, well, the small business version is right around $600, and then you have to pay for licensing on top of that. So I think all in all, it probably costs about $800 for, maybe a little more than that, for 3 years worth of licensing plus then a year's worth of support, and that's 24/7 support. And the guy was, I didn't get anybody from a foreign country. I got somebody who was just, the guy was super nice, willing to walk me through every single step. He was talking to me about what are some of the options we could have done to fix the server before actually just saying, okay, that's it, let's roll it back. You know, he was, you know, the guy was just really, really nice. So I'm super pleased with this product. Like I said, it's probably not the most expensive. It's not the cheapest one out there, but
It works.
And
It
this,
worked.
and this isn't something that you put in place or recommended. This is something they already had, and you had a good experience with it.
no, they didn't have they because they left they left a company called Geeks and Knockin'. That was the company name.
That's right. I love
Right.
that.
So then they left them to come to me.
If the geeks are rocking, or how that go? It's all right.
A knockin'.
Geeks
So-
are knocking. Ah, it's so awful. Oh,
I had that on my van.
geeks and knocking.
Well, I had
It's,
it said if it's, my van's a rocking, don't you come and knocking. But anyway, go ahead.
you know, I don't want to knock them. Sorry, but you know, I think they did a good job, but their prices. And here's what I'm finding locally. I'll let Tim finish here.
I might have to edit that out.
Oh, that name just. Sorry, guys.
It's been a long time, a month and a half.
I'm apologizing to any geeks that are knocking. But
So here's what I'm finding. I'm finding that a lot of my clients are coming. I'm getting a lot of new clients because I fill that gap between, you know, small and mid-sized businesses, and
Yeah.
then when these IT companies decide that they're going to charge very much like enterprise, and I've gone back and forth with this if you know, and I think we've had talks about this here on the show. I've definitely know Jeff and all the guys and gals on the Podnuts show talk about this. Is, do you charge per hour, or do you charge like just a chunk of, you know, for $1,200 a month, I'm going to cover all of this, or do you say this is what these little things are going to cost, and then there's a labor fee on top of all of that? Well, these companies are charging like a chunk, like for $1,500 a month, we're going to do everything. Well, what's happening then is that you've kind of cut out the a la carte aspect where some of the small businesses want that, and then they say, well, we can't go with you anymore. And that's kind of what happened here. Is they raised the rates. They weren't providing the a la carte services they wanted because they didn't really need some of the features. So they left. Well, when they left, they took their backup solution with them because that was part of that a la carte. So
Yeah.
we brought in this new one.
oh,
And-
okay.
And so I was part of just bringing in this brand new backup software. It was so easy to set up, and you know, because we bought the support with it, we went ahead and I called, you know, StorageCraft, and the guy walked me through how to set it up to the NAS, you know, all the fine details and make it functional. I get emails all the time. Once we tweaked on it and made it, you know, I stopped thinking about it and actually had them help me with it. Because I assumed it did this and that, and they said, "Oh no, it actually runs this way." And okay, great. Then we've had 100% backup, you know, success ever since we've fixed that, and now we've had not only 100% backup success, we've had 100% recovery. You know, you kind of find what works for you, and this is one that I can recommend. That it was easy to implement, easy to back up, easy to attach to a NAS, and this is just running to a Synology 2 terabyte NAS on the network. And easy to recover from. So,
That's still great. So great when it works.
you know,
Especially,
and that was
especially when it, you know, if it does it, it's just gonna be it's bad.
yeah, that was a concern. Was what if this doesn't work? You know, when I hit the OK go, because you find out what backup you want, and then you basically it gives you a list of all of your partitions that are available, and there's the OS partition. And you say, okay, overwrite this partition. And there's a button that's, you know, there's the finish button, and that's the go. And I said, do you want to click it to the other guy? And he goes, no, you go ahead. And I clicked it,
Yeah.
and there it was.
You need two people to turn a key.
You know, it's one of those things where as soon as I clicked that, I said, this is it. At least it's booting right now. This may just kill the whole thing. And within 30 minutes, 35 minutes, it was up and running. So.
No, that's great, man. That's what happened. What happened to it? I mean, what was the problem initially? Do you know what happened to it? I mean, just
So
it broke bad.
he changed the password, and it's small business, and I've never. This is me. This opinion is not supported or validated by the Geeksters or Podnuts community. Anyways, I've never really liked the small business. I think that they've taken everything, they've wrapped it up. They've made this fancy GUI on top of it, the small
No,
business thing, and
okay, I agree so far. It's yeah.
when they're like, well, how do you change the password? I go into Active Directory and I say right click right here. And they're like, well, what about going through this little GUI fancy interface? I'm like, well, I don't know. Every time I've never used it because every time I try to use it, it breaks and it doesn't work right. So I just go back to the plain old simple Active Directory users and computers that's been around since Server 2000. And it's even available on 2012 and 2016. It's just in different spots. I just go to the what I know
Right.
works, and I think that's one of the things that why Windows 10. It took me a while to get Windows 10 or Windows 8 even working, is because I felt like if I can't get it to work for me, then it's I my time is valuable. My client's times is valuable, and we have to find that place where this is a new operating system or it's a new server OS or whatever. Where is the line between fancy and new versus functionality? And and if it's too fancy and it's too new and not functional, then nobody's going to buy it. And unfortunately, Microsoft pretty much forced people to move. Or at least they haven't yet, but they accidentally forced people to move a couple months ago when they accidentally rolled out a critical patch and it was a Windows 10 update. So I see it coming. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but it's kind of it's hard to stop Microsoft. I know that's a little mini rant there, but
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So, like I said at the very beginning of the show, the reason we have not had a Geeksters in so long is that I have been my business has boomed. I have picked up new contracts after new contracts after new contracts, just time and time again. On the 8th of November, I celebrated 4 years. I've now ran Obando Computing as my sole proprietor job, for 4 years. So I'm excited for that. I think I've passed the new stage. With that comes new challenges, new new things. I'm going to be looking at, and we've talked about this in the past. Repair Shopper. I'm actually going to start using that for my ticketing system. I met with a gentleman over the last couple weeks, a couple times. His name's Michael. He's going to come on. He's going to work with me as a contractor. So I'm bringing somebody on that's going to release me to do a little more things like be on Geeksters, to hang out with you guys, hang out with the Podnuts community more, because all I do is I get up and I work and I come home and I work and I go to sleep and I get up and I work and I go home, and work. That's all I do. I spend all my day in the car driving around putting out fires, and I come home and I have just stacks of paperwork. I have, right now I've got 6 computers at my house that I have to reload for next week. It's just a lot. But I'm excited that Michael's going to come on and he's going to help me, and he's excited. He's ran his own business, so I'm not having to train him on how to do networking. He runs Exchange servers, which I don't have any, but that just shows his skill set. Definitely he's smarter than me in some areas, and we complement each other very well. And I can send him out on a job, and he knows how to fix a network printing job or how to do stuff. And he had a business for a while, and he just didn't like dealing with all the paperwork and the business side and the taxes, and but I have a bookkeeper who keeps me afloat with that, and so he is excited to just come in as a tech. He's excited to start taking more of the jobs from me, grow, bring more people on, bring more people on. So who knows, by this time next year I may have a couple employees, and I may come
incorporated.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna get all excited about doing that right now. But
can I ask where you found Michael?
So get this. I had to go down to Salem for a job, and while I'm there, I'm talking to a lady that I've known for years, working with this company, and she says, "Hey, are you?" And I am at this time I am so fried. I've started to not give the customers the support that the personality. Obando Computing, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, but Obando Computing has grown just naturally. I have not put out any, or very small at the very beginning, advertisements. When you get Obando Computing, you get Martin. Good or bad, take it all. And so I've grown just naturally that way. And I'm starting, and I was realizing one day in a car, I'm losing that touch where all I'm doing is clients are calling me up, they're telling me their problems, I'm saying, okay, I'll fix it as soon as I can, goodbye. It's just a machine going through the motions, not where's that personality, where's the personal touch, where's the stuff that made me where's the foundation of where I was. and I knew that was time to, and I was struggling with that, and I knew it was time to bring on somebody, but I had nobody in mind, and I couldn't find anybody, and the one person that I did find, he just didn't have the skill set I was looking for. And so I'm down there and I'm deploying this new computer for this lady, and everything's going really well. And she says, "Are you hiring by any chance? Are you looking for anybody?" I said, "Well, I am, but I'm just struggling with it." And she goes, "Well, my son," and she goes, "Well, it's my son-in-law. They're her daughter, and they're not married yet, but they're engaged." And he goes, "He had his own business for a while. He did exactly what you were doing. He's my computer guy for my home stuff, and he has other businesses that that he goes to, and he didn't like running the business. He didn't like doing business. He liked being a tech and not a business owner." And I said, "Really? Like I like doing both, but I need a tech. Either I need to decide either to be a business owner or be a tech, and I think I needed to probably just get a tech." And so I said, "Well, give him my information. Let's talk." Thinking I'll hear from him in a little bit, and nothing. Later that afternoon, he called me, and we just instantly hit it off. Met up with him downtown Portland. I had to go to Vancouver. He drove with me. We just got a chance just to talk in the car. It's about a 40-minute round trip, so we just spent time talking. And then last week we met for lunch again, and that's officially said, "Yeah, I'm going to start throwing you some stuff, and we'll go from there." So it all just kind of fell together at a time when I was, you can only paddle water for so long, and my wife and kids are going to Guatemala in January, and we're going to Disneyland in March. We're doing a huge family. Not only my family, but my wife's extended family, their whole family, or my immediate family. We're all going to Disneyland, and I just couldn't see how I'd be away for a week. But now I think there's light, and I'm excited. I'm excited to grow. I'm excited to bring this guy on, and I'm excited that now it's going to free me up to do things like Geeksters because, unfortunately, and I mentioned this to Dor, and I know that if I'm rambling, I apologize, but I mentioned this to Dor, and I said, I wanted to apologize to you, Mitch, to you, Tim, to our listeners that it had been a month. We didn't pod fade. We didn't go away. And I said, Dora, I feel like I've just felt like I'm so detached from Podnuts. I've been so busy working that I just kind of fell off the face of the earth. And I vented my frustration to you two, Tim and Mitch, and to Dora. And I said, I don't know what to do. For the sake of Geeksters, does it need to go on without me? Does what needs to change so we can do this so I'm not dragging this show down, because that's not what I wanted to do. And he said, the other day he said, Martin, this is what Podnuts is. It's people who live and breathe this industry getting together, and when it happens, and that's just and so while I'm apologetic to everybody that it's been so long between shows, this is what we do. This is my job. This is Tim's job. This is Mitch's part-time job.
Yeah.
And so you're getting the raw text here. You're not getting. I don't have. If we don't get a chance to record Geeksters on for the last month and a half, it's because I've just been so busy, and but that's life. That's how it goes.
That's so crazy because like last week, Dor gets with me, and he said that we've had too many complaints about me, and Obando wanted me off the show, and that's what was happening. So I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, I don't believe him.
Is that what
we'll see.
Precipitated the Voxer your name's on that thing now? They changed the name.
When did they change it?
It's Bad Seas 3 Return of Obando.
Oh yeah, that was part of that.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, I don't go there. I just don't have time in the daytime. I'm too busy at work.
People send me Voxers and texts, and I've told people, okay, email me. I get Voxers, and I'm just like, I can't check it all. I'm way too busy now in this season. I see it coming, and I see it, me having some more time later on, but I just, I work all the time, and I need to. By the way, I need to be done with that.
You have the pay version of Voxer. I was thinking about getting it, but I thought you had to have the pay version to use the web version. Evidently, you don't.
Not anymore. They used to. They've now opened it up to everybody.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just by accident, just going on there, I found out.
Yeah. So that's a little history of kind of what's been happening in in Obando computing for the last month, and why, and it kind of even actually before our last show, but um, I'm definitely glad to be back, and I'm glad that you guys didn't.
That's a good thing. And Martin, another question here is, do you think this time could be a good time to do the show on late Friday night, or?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what goes on, we have family time. Did Tim just shake his head no?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is Friday night, and I don't want to interrupt anybody's Friday nights.
No, that would be good for me. Like if we did it later, like after 9 o'clock. I mean, for me, I don't, but I can only speak for myself. But
it depends because I need to start spending more time with my family. The reason I'm able to do it tonight is I just said we got to do it.
Right.
So we'll have to discuss that. Maybe even early Saturdays work well for me. But then we got softball season comes up, and both Tim and I are busy with softball season and marching season, and so we'll just have to play by ear. We may have to make Geeksters just unfortunately a show that just kind of fits in on a weekly time.
What's marching season? Is that like a neo-Nazi thing, or what is
No, like marching band.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My mistake. Go ahead.
No, that's okay.
I mean, if I was a tech like you guys, if I did it, I just do it I don't look for business, but if I'm doing something for a friend or family, and it's just not very often. But if I did, I had no problem if you couldn't do the show. I think I could talk. I could fake it enough to do.
Yeah, and maybe that's what and maybe that's where Geeksters goes. Maybe we reach out to the community, and there's lots of people out there. If you can if you got a decent set of microphones or a microphone at least, unless you're Tim, and you have a couple laying around, and just maybe we just have guests on, and that's what we do. But I don't want to take over. I don't want to. I don't know. We'll have to see because we already kind of have a show like that. So, I don't know.
The more the merrier.
It is. I had Swift in the chat saying he wants to be back on the show. I'm assuming it's a he.
Oh, he's been on the show.
Yeah, that's what he said. So it is a he. Okay, good. I don't want to. Anyways, so but I found this website was given me a while ago, and it's called Xbyte, XBYTE, and you can go get refurbished Dell servers from here.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 and 5 year pro support, but on all their servers. So they've got tower server storage, rack servers, blade servers. So thought I'd throw this out there. If anybody's looking for some servers, I usually get a lot of the tower servers just because a lot of my sites don't have racks. But you could go get a PowerEdge T320 for it starts at $1,200. You save, and it comes with a whole lot of stuff in it. So it's already built. So check that out, Xbyte, XBYTE. I'm not sure where I heard it from, but I've kind of had it in my bookmarks, and I thought I'd share that one with you guys. So we went. I mentioned we went 1-to-1 with our Chromebooks at the school I was at for 8th graders. And then, anything for refurbished or used ThinkPads, says Swift in the chat room. Check out outlet.lenovo.com. It's their outlet store, and Dell has one too, outlet.dell.com. Outlet.lenovo.com. If I remember correctly, their new systems come out on either Tuesdays or Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, but that's where I bought my Lenovo and saved quite a bit of money, and then just upgraded it aftermarket, put more RAM in it, put an SSD, etc. Check that out. So we went 1-to-1 with St. Matthew's at the beginning of the year for 8th graders, and now we are definitely doing 1-to-1 as an option for 6th and 7th graders. So if they buy one, they can start bringing it to school. So we got some Chrome printers, and it just works. Everything just works. So if you are trying to do Chrome printing, you have to do a couple things, just like in Windows Active Directory, where you create a group policy object, and that group policy object is either a user object or it's a computer object. So you can have a policy that can either apply to the users groups, or the computers groups, or you apply it to both. Well, just to let you know, because I didn't have this set up correctly, is that when you create a printer, you apply the printers to the group that both the users and the computers are in. So because I applied it to the users and nothing happened, then I had to apply it to the group that the computers are in. So in the St. Matthew's hierarchy, we have the St. Matthew's organization at the very top, and all the computers are in there, and then we have subgroups of staff, like what was it, staff? I think there's a ministry one. Those are like the priests and stuff from the other church, and then there's a students OU, and inside that student OU, then we have 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, etc. Those are the graduation years. So each student is listed in there because that's where you're going to create your student groups for within Google. So then I created the printers and I applied it to the students, and nothing happened. I applied it, then I had to take and apply it to the top level of the St. Matthew's one, and then the printer showed up for all the students below. So I just wanted to if anybody's struggling with Chrome printing, I had to call Chrome to find that out about that, and they were really nice, and it took minutes, and they walked me through the steps. But we purchased some new Dell new Brother printers. They're wireless, and they have both AirPrint and Chrome Print on them, and now the staff and the students can print from their iPads and from their Chromebooks, and it works really, really good.
Beautiful.
And I'm still using OpenMesh, still deploying OpenMesh, and another organization, a different church. We have what was happening was Monday mornings, staff was coming in and they couldn't get online because on Sunday, the way that they had wanted everything set up is they wanted to go fairly inexpensive, and so we had just put in a whole lot of like 5 TP-Link routers all over the place. Each managed by itself, so if one thing happened to one, I'd have to go around and change it to all of them. And so what happened is there was a guest network, and then there was the business network, but they pulled from the same DHCP pool that was on the server. Okay, so there was only segregation based on the SSID, and you could make some changes as far as maybe the guest network turns off. But as far as segregating the network, you couldn't do that. They didn't even have the infrastructure for like virtual networks for VLANs or anything like that. So that's what they wanted to go with. So we went with that. Not the best, but we went with it. So a couple weeks ago, the staff showed up, and the pastor and a couple of the business people tried to go online. They had completely ran out of IP addresses in their DHCP pool. I didn't open it all up. I gave them a pool and then realized, okay, the pool's full, so gave them another 45. Everything was good. So everything was fine. It was kind of a band-aid on the situation. Luckily for me, they're running a 192.168.0.x with a /24, which means that's the 255.255.255.0. So their available IP addresses are 192.168.0.1 through 192.168.0.254. So they have 253 available IP addresses. But because they're on a /0, I can change their subnet from 255.255.255 to 255.255.254. That will now allow them 192.168.0.1 through 192.168.1.254. So I hope I didn't lose anybody there. But I basically it was able to give me the other .1 area. So we could do something like that. But that doesn't solve the problem with the phone call that I received of, hey, we'd like to implement some security cameras into the building. They're going to be wireless, and we want them completely isolated from the guest network. I'm like, well, considering the wireless access they have, the wireless access points they have and the way that they're set up, we can't do that. There's no way to do that. So I had a meeting this week, and they're going to go to OpenMesh. So with OpenMesh, of course, you have the guest network, right? And the guest network is a 10 dot with a /8, which means it's 255.0.0.0, which means for the guest network, because what was happening is staff would come in, they wouldn't have an IP address because everybody on Sunday would come in with their tablets and phones and tablets and connect to the guest network during church and use that instead of physical Bibles, which people do. And they were filling up the pool. The DHCP pool was getting used, and it wouldn't have time to clear out that pool come Monday morning before the staff showed up. So I shrunk the lease time, which would help, but this is all just a big Band-Aid on a solution on the problem of they're growing. So we're going to go to OpenMesh. The guest network, completely isolated. That's the lovely thing about OpenMesh. The guest network is completely isolated with a 10 with the 10.0.0.0 IP address for that. That allows for a little over 16 million available IP addresses for the guest network. And I said, you shouldn't run out of that. And they said, well, what happens if we do? And I said, if you run out of 16 million guest IP address networks, then you're going to need a bigger building. And then from there, then what we can do on the other side then is we can create some SSIDs that are like the business and the wireless cameras and hide the wireless camera one, and those will just pull from the DHCP pool on the server. Now we've done encryption. The nice thing is that this church is also using OpenDNS. Remember during our last show or the show before that, we had talked about how OpenMesh now locks down the DNS. So even if you put in OpenDNS, you try to go around it through OpenMesh. OpenMesh locks it down like a good firewall should. So that's exciting. So I need to write up a proposal this weekend, but they're going to get rid of all of their plain ones. They're going to go to OpenMesh. So I'm excited to start implementing some of that as well.
You are the man.
So, yeah, just some things for me coming on the horizon. I'm definitely looking forward to putting out some more OpenMesh devices.
I want to clear something up. I just have an A+ certification, which anybody can get. But I was under the understanding that I got mine back in 2001, but now I think you have to take it every 3 years. Well, here's the deal. I went up to the CompTIA, and if you got it before 2011, you do not have to take it every 3 years. And so I guess I'm like grandfathered in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean, because I think I thought I was understanding it wouldn't. It's no good anymore. You have to get it. Well, you probably should anyway, but you don't. So I wondered. I never set up a account before, but so I got with my number, CompTIA number, got a password, and then right up winter, you do not have to take it every 3 years if you got it before. I think it's 2011.
Yeah.
But I'm so out. I mean, it's like.
Well, I mean, I was cleaning out my toolbox, and I had like the Pocket PC Guide, and it has like the IRC codes, and remember all that?
Yes, you don't have to worry about that. I mean,
I got mine in 2000. Let's see,
2001 for me.
Yeah, I got mine early as well. I just you don't need any of that stuff anymore. It all just computers. The A+ now is completely. It has to be completely different than what it was when we took it.
See, I wish I would have gone further and did the A+. I don't know if they still have the A+. I mean, the Network Plus.
They do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I should have, because it's everything you were talking about it applies to that.
Well, yeah, because now they have the Network Plus, the Security Plus. They have a Linux Plus one. But there's a lot of places. Mitch, check your local community college, because you can take. I took my Security Plus and my Network Plus online.
Yeah.
Through Security College. So check that, and those are. I think I paid $90, and it's twice a week for 6 weeks, and there's homework, and you have to read up, and I just printed it all out, but yeah, that's.
See, I'm thinking about retiring in 2 years, but I have to do something. I have to do some kind of part-time job.
Thank you to Walmart.
Well, yeah. Welcome to Walmart. So I'm like back in my head. I'm thinking because I used to get overwhelmed. People would just ask me to fix their computers, and call me a pizza tech, whatever you want, and I didn't charge them. But thinking about doing it for real. That's exactly the same thing.
October 17th, 2002.
Oh, wait a minute. Mine's got your name on it, too.
Wait a minute. My number is 106-20608.
To 2002, I got my name.
That's good. Good one. Oh, I didn't expect that.
When was yours, Mitch?
That's funny.
2001, March 2001.
Oh, so
I'm sure if I look around here, I probably have one of Martin's here, too.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, March 6th, 2001.
I also have my my Microsoft.
Yeah, and then they call what do they call it? They changed it, didn't they?
This is just a security. This is just a Microsoft certified professional. That's all this is. This is like the I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, Dave's
I,
got it.
I needed to, I
Dave's
needed
got a
to
ton of that stuff, I think.
I needed to pass a test for something. I don't know what it was for. And I remember, gosh, this was years ago, and I remember finding a test online, and it was question for question the exam. I basically memorized the exam. You know
Well,
how
that's what
they
when I
and so when I
studied
went
for
in, I
mine.
just went click click click. Oh yeah, ACC 392. And I'm like, oh, 100%.
Oh well,
Woo!
like for the A plus, I don't know how I just did a lot of practice exam, but it was never the same question. I studied probably for hundreds of different questions I didn't have on the test because you don't know what questions you're going to
No.
get. It was I think you did it on a computer adaptive. The more you miss, the more they give you. But I think it took like 5 minutes for each test, the software or hardware.
Yeah.
But
Now my CCNA that I never passed, I missed by a question. That was
Cisco,
yeah. I think if I went back and took it now, I
one
would get it.
question you missed it by one.
I missed it by one.
Are you serious? I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
And I think at the time it was like $250 to take it or something like that. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think the A plus was like 135 for each one or something
But
like that.
I think in the past we've mentioned, are people, maybe businesses are looking for people with certs just so you have something like, just a basic knowledge point. But nobody has ever asked to see any of the certifications I have. Nobody cares. Can you fix my printing? Not are you if you open up the computer, are you using a grounding strap on your wrist, and have you made sure that everything's clear? And
No.
yeah, what I've done is I've rubbed my feet really hard in my socks on my plastic thing and gone. Zzz.
I'm sure thinking about back, I'm sure I ruined a computer because I
Oh yeah,
didn't do
I
that.
know I have.
I used to, don't put a computer together while you're on the carpet, sitting on the floor.
I usually do mine. I usually do
did.
mine.
In
I
the
usually do
winter.
mine right in the kitchen sink, right next to the leaky faucet.
Oh,
That's always,
I have several cats I like to pet while I'm standing on my shag carpet.
blowing up balloons.
With the balloon, I got dehumidifiers running. I want it as dry in here as possible. I've got static arcing on my finger, like to the other side of the room to doorknobs.
Like, check this out.
I've never statically wrecked anything. It's almost like a myth to me. I've never had an issue.
Now you've called upon the curse.
Well,
Hey, another curse, get in line.
That's right.
That's my life.
well, the one time I put a computer together, I got shocked, Tim. It was really bad. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you want to see what happened to me? I don't know if you can see what
did you
happened
say
to me.
shot?
I think I saw
Oh.
that. Yeah, it's lovely.
That's what happened to me when I got shocked. I don't know if you can see that picture.
Oh, there it is.
It's crazy because it doesn't even look like you anymore.
Yeah, but then
Well-
The Walking Dead called me up, so I think I'm going to do a couple shows
Okay.
for them.
All right.
Oh wait, that says zombie booth on it.
Oh, you're not supposed to see that.
That's fake. Oh man, you had me going there for a while.
Well, I was going to do a clown, but I didn't want to upset you.
Oh, don't you? No. That's not even funny. All right. That's really what's been happening. Microsoft turned 30 a couple days ago. Was it today? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Well, hey,
happy birthday to them.
you said they turned 30.
Yeah.
Well, never trust anybody over 30.
No, never.
Because, and Microsoft has enjoyed a lot of trust from people through the years,
Yes.
but no more.
No more. No more. One site that I did come across that I'd throw it out here really quick. It's called Hack Punch, HACKPUNCH. I don't know. It's kind of fun to go look at it. That's pretty much what it is. It's not a. It's how to remotely control PC from Android, how to run the apps on your computer, what is rooting in Android, how to hack top hacking apps, how to run heavy games on a low graphics card. It's kind of a
Pretty cool.
it's nothing exciting. Just one of those. Oh, I have nothing to do. Maybe I'll read this type thing. So
It's fun.
yeah. So that's what's been going on. That's why that's why we haven't been there. That's why we're coming back.
Well, can I talk about some news?
Please.
First of all, prayers go out to the people in France. and it was horrible what happened there. And kudos to Anonymous, the hacking group, for their bringing down a lot of the ISIS. They're getting information, and people wouldn't join, and they're doing a good thing in my book. I think they hacked a bunch of Twitter accounts, and
yeah.
I
heard some commentary about them the other day, and the guy called them. They said they're a group of people that wear Joker masks.
That they do.
Well, no, I know, but they don't wear. It's not a Joker mask.
It's
Guy Fawkes.
What?
It's Guy Fawkes, Fawks. It's the V for Vendetta mask.
Yeah, V for
but,
right.
But it's the representation of Guy Fawkes, and it's been around for a long time, but it's not a Joker mask. And so I thought, so it's one of those things where, if you're going to report on something, at least know what you're reporting on. Don't just make up something, because now your kind of credibility is a little. But anyways, that was just my little.
Oh, I shouldn't have said anything? What?
Well, no. I didn't say you couldn't say anything. I'm just saying that I found this one guy who was trying to promote it or talk about it as a commentary on talk radio, that he didn't know what he was talking about. So.
Oh.
That's all.
It happens.
It shouldn't, though. No, just kidding.
Well.
Yeah.
They talk a lot more than us, and we get a lot of stuff wrong.
That's true.
Are you all right, Tim? Here, get something to drink.
I do. Anyway.
Here, drink some of this. Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. No, you can't drink it.
Just spray it over the internet in my mouth.
What else is new? I bought a new SD card, micro SD card, because, like I said, the one I had in my camera went bad. Samsung, nice one, and I got a buddy of mine. He's 60 years old, never had a smartphone, so he's ready to do the plunge. So I'm kind of working with him a little bit. See, I'm on Boost, and I only get 2 gigabytes a month. And you know what I used last month? 1.2 gigabytes is all I use, because I'm connected. I'm home. I'm connected here, and any Xfinity they're all over the place. I'm connected to them. I pay $35 a month, and then I've referred 2 people already. If I get a $25 credit, and he's going to be my third one if he finds a phone. And and it works well. I mean, I was on Verizon before, and there was places there that I couldn't get it. Had bad signals, and it works fine here in Hanover.
Nice.
The top line of the phone, you're just going to have to pay outright for,
Right.
And they don't have they got the i5 and the S6, but I got the S4. It's fine.
That's cool.
It is. And I say so.
And there it is.
Oh, we can't run out of stuff to say.
Well, Tim hasn't said much tonight.
I've got it covered. I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm at. Wrap it up. I mean,
all right.
His audio sounds good tonight.
It's plenty long for me. I mean, I'm satisfied with the length of the show.
All right.
We need to be edit in all that filler I was talking about and clips, and I think Dora was going to come in at some point and apologize for me or something, and I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll call it then. So, Mitch, if people want to get a hold of us,
don't ask me because I don't have the web page up.
All right. So, if people want to get a hold of us, Geeksters at Podnuts.
They moved everything on Podnuts. I don't know where anything is.
Geeksters at Podnuts.com. 888. Hold on.
You're like me.
I've got to go to the contact page.
Yeah.
Anyways, Geeksters at Podnuts.com. I don't know if you can call in anymore. There's got to be a way. But anyways, if you want to get a hold of me, I'm Martin at ObandoComputing.com. Obando Obando Computing in the chat. I just realized I saw my own name. And Obando in Google+.
And also, like we mentioned a little bit, if anybody's interested in coming on the show, so we can keep it going, every week. It's just if you can't make it, then that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about all that and get it all squared away for make sure we get on the same Podnuts YouTube channels and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, we'll make room, or you can come sit on my lap. during the show?
Yeah.
There we have it. The title. Never mind. That's not going to be the title of the show. Anyways, Tim, if people want to, you want people to contact you? Ay.
If anybody wants to get a hold of me, I'm Tim Bauermeister with G+. Let's
There
move
you
this thing
go.
along.
All right. For Mitch, Tim, myself, guys, thanks for the people hanging out in the chat room. I know it's late on a Friday night, depending on where you're at. It's good to be back, guys. So we will talk with you again. Hopefully
Now you
next week.
freeze up.
Wait. Hopefully next week. Okay. Bye.